What's going on, guys? It's your boy Maximum RPM coming at you with another video today. People have asked to see how I made my custom stadium several times before. There is a video somewhere on my channel. I don't know the title of it. I forgot where I was working on it, but here it is. My custom homemade stadium, the Slash Stadium. People say that this thing's too flat. Well, you're wrong. It's not too flat. This is how I made it. I ran into limitations, which is why it's as flat as it is. I wanted it to be a little deeper, but they're like, oh, it's too flat for any Beyblade. No, it's not. You just can't use, like, variable. Like, a worn-down variable. Zephyr is a little too aggressive for it. You can't use crazy drivers. Volcanic won't work in here that well, typically. It literally has nothing to do with the stadium, just the Beyblades. I can't show you how I made this because I didn't make it at home. I made it at my shop class at school. So I made this on what is called a lathe. Now you can look that up and find some really cool videos on it of people. That's how they make those wooden baseball bats. They make them on a lathe. So, long story short, what a lathe is, it's a machine that has a spindle, not a spindle, but a spinning wheel, and you take your piece of wood, you attach it to the wheel, and it spins. You can control the speed of it, but the way that it works is you have a tool, and it's got a handle, obviously, but it's a long file, pretty much. And the ends of them will be different shapes. It's a metal blade. So the way that it works is, this stadium used to be completely flat. In fact, this used to be a big square. About that big. All the way around. And the way that I did that was, this was actually 2 or 3 boards. I think it was 3. Yeah, either way, you can see where the grain is different. Yeah, it's 3 different boards. This right here is one. This part up is another, and this part down is another. So the way that I made it was, I took the 3 boards, I planed them down, and I used, I'm trying to blank on the name of it at the moment, the jointer, a jointer to make the edges smooth so I could attach the boards together. I applied wood glue, I put them in a vise, or not a vise, but like more of a big clamp. Drawing a blank on the exact shop term at the moment. I used 3 of them to secure it, and when it was cured, I used my incredible mathematical equation to find center. So this is the perfect center of it, so it would spin perfectly, and the part that connected to the lathe was attached to this, and then you just thread it on, and turn the lathe on, it starts spinning. You use your tool, and you cut off what you don't, or what you don't need, so I cut right here. All you pretty much do is hold the piece of wood, or the tool, to it, and cut in. You just push ever so slightly. Takes a long time to do, but it's a lot of fun. I'd like to make a video. I want to make a new wood stadium, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but I'll talk about this for now. So I made it into a circle, and I cleaned up the edges so it's nice and smooth all around. I sanded the bottom so it's all nice and smooth, but you can see, like right here, you can see some of the flaws that it had, and I was just kind of lazy. Because I had been working on this thing for over a year because I originally failed. because I was using a piece of cheap plywood. Well, it wasn't cheap. It was pressure-treated plywood that's over, like, 30 years old. So, it was not very good. It was chipping too much, so I restarted. I believe I used pine. I'm like 99% sure that this is pine. But the polyurethane just really sealed it. Really sealed it good, but you'll notice that there's the 4 dots here from where the screws poked through when I was running this thing on the lathe. So, I had to stop. Then, I found a really cool technique where you put wood glue on the bottom. Then you use, like, wax paper. Wood glue, wax paper, wood glue, wax paper. You use that a couple different times. Then you use wood glue over the final layer of wax paper and attach. So what I did was I took the bit that connects to the lathe, screwed it into a board, and then attached that to that, let it set. Now I could continue my work. And I worked it down for that. Bandana's coming off. There we go. So now I could continue my work. And I gave it a little bit of a tornado ridge. You can kind of see it right. It's kind of hard to pick up in the light, but like right here's the tornado ridge. It's not as steep as I would have liked. I would have liked this to be a little bit deeper, but I was running out of time, and I was running out of material. I was having issues with these, where the screws came through. I put some wood filler in it. And yes, I did kind of mess up. I wanted a small spot in the middle. I wanted it a little bit bigger than that, but, you know, whatever's whatever. It was my first time ever using the lathe. I did it pretty much by myself. And I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. The Slash Stadium. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so this was originally a flat board, but you had to work it down ever so slowly towards the center. This was a lot of work. I want to make a new one of these. Here is my plan. We all know about the Hypersphere Stadium that Hasbro made that came with Bushin Ashindra and Sword Beltriek. My plan is to make something like the Hypersphere Stadium. It's not going to be a Hypersphere Stadium. It's going to be a normal stadium, but it's going to be like a figure 8. So I want to make 2 more of these. And then what I want to do is, I want to take probably about here and cut it all the way across. I want to take probably that off. About that, probably. I want to make 2 of them, do the same to both, and then I want to join them together, smooth down the edges, and maybe make a filler over here, so there's not a big whoop in it, like, so it doesn't curve, and then do that. Just that way, so it's a little bit smoother. It might not mar up the edges, because sometimes when the Beyblades come off the side of the stadium, they do nick it a little bit. It's not bad. The stadium has held up a lot better than I first anticipated. I didn't think I was going to be using most of the Beyblades that I do. I can use iron on this thing. Well, iron doesn't stay in this the greatest, but I can use it. And as you can see, there's some little marks, but they won't affect the Beyblades at all. I mean, that's a mistake that I made. That's just part of it, but that little dot right there, that's from where one of the tips hit the stadium floor. Ooh. It's coming off. There we go. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. I would like to make the new one, like I said, make it like the figure 8. If you guys want to see that, definitely let me know. I'm probably going to do it either way. I'm just going to have to see how it's going to work out with COVID. I would like to purchase a lathe for me at home because we're getting a garage put on soon, so I'll be able to do some more work. But yeah, guys, if you want to see me make a new stadium, let me know. I had a lot of fun making this. I wouldn't mind making an actual video about it if I do get the opportunity to make another one of these. I would really like to see if I could convince my shop teacher or my principal. I'd probably have to take it up with my principal first, get okay from her, and then the shop teacher to see if I could record the process of me making this. And I would really enjoy doing that. I'd really like to. So yeah, if I get the opportunity to, I definitely will. Alright guys, that's going to be about it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications so you get all my videos because I upload daily. And as always, hope this video makes your day just a little bit better. Live life to the max and stay awesome.